Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another installment of our Android tip calculator app tutorial. And first things first, I think this white border here is actually too large, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to change the padding to 5 dp, which I think does look nicer. Okay, let's move on. What does our plan say? We can do the tip now. We're finally getting the tip part of our tip calculator. Alright, let's get that started. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to make it slightly different from that. You'll see what I mean. Let's create an edit text and make it a... let's make it a number. Just a regular number. And at this point, I'm going to go a little bit faster because I think you're starting to get how all this works. So try to follow to the best of your ability. Let's give it an ID of, okay, 10%. That's a good name for it, right? Let's change the text to, I don't know, a default of 15% sounds reasonable, I think. Let's also go ahead and give it some gravity. Let's go for the regular gravity. Make it center. Okay. You know what? No, I'm going to change it to right center vertical. I think that looks nicer. Let's change the layout gravity as well and make it centered so that it lines up with the button we're going to add at the end. Where is it? Here it is. Gravity center. And again, doesn't do anything until we add more stuff. Okay, so far so good. Let's add. Let's do something neat. Go to I think form widgets. Find the seek bar and put it onto row 4. A seek bar is like a slider, and it is one way for the user to get input. So you can have the user slide this left and right to determine, the number. Let's call this tip slider. Let's set the gravity to center vertical. Or, yeah, center verticals. Let's just make it center. Doesn't really matter. Oh. Okay, that looks weird. No, let's make it center vertical. Yeah. Not sure why that was the case, but anyway. You know what, I'm going to check one thing. I can't remember what I set it to in my tutorial here, and I want the two tutorials to match up. Okay, we did set it to center vertical. Alright, okay, let's move on. Let's set up some more properties for this seek bar. Where is the maximum? Here it is. The maximum, as you can guess, is how high this bar goes to, so let's set it to 50. 50% tip is pretty high. I don't think most people want to go over it. And if they do want to go over it, they have the option of just typing it here. So there's two ways for the user to input information. And the default, again, let's make it 15%. Okay, I think that's all we actually need for the slider. Let's go on and create another image button. You remember where to get that. Again, hopefully you have the image. What we're going to do now is add a round button because we want a rounding feature for the user to be able to round the tip. So this will be the round button, and let's give it a name of round button. And for now, that's all we really need from the round button. Okay, so this is the tip section. Almost done. Let's go ahead and add some more. Let's go to text fields. Form widgets, and add a medium-sized text view to. Oh shoot, we're out of rows. Okay, let's add some rows. You can either right-click main table and click Add Row right here, or you can select main table and click the Add Row button right. Where'd it go? Select the main table and click the Add Row button. That's right here. Okay, so we got 2 more rows to work with. Yeah, let's go to form widgets. Throw in a medium text onto table row 5. Again, I'm moving a bit faster. Hopefully you guys are okay with it. Let's change the text to tip. Let's change the gravity now. Right center vertical for layout gravity. And just plain center for, oh wait, that's all we need. So here's the thing, with text views, the box around the content of the text view will automatically just wrap around the content. So if you change layout gravity, it's basically the same as changing regular gravity down here. So I just changed layout gravity, I don't bother changing the other thing. Hopefully that made sense. Text fields, let's go ahead and add a another text. No, go to form widgets. I'm sorry. Add another medium text is what we want. And let's call it tip dollar. Oh, sorry. Stay in the graphical. Although maybe we should practice XML some more. Maybe later. Let's call it tip dollar for the ID. And remember, all your IDs need to have @+ID/ before the actual ID. Don't forget. Let's make the text 000. Let's make it, let's change the gravity for this one too to just center, I think is fine. Okay. So this looks pretty sweet. They're going to change the gravity here, or the tip here, or they can use a slider here, and then based on what they input, this will dynamically change from $0 to whatever the proper calculation is. They can also click this round button and it'll round this number, and they can click it again and it will unround it. Okay, we're done with the tip section. Awesome. Let's move along pretty fast. How much time has it been? Great. I'm glad we're speeding things up at last. Okay, let's make another line. Easiest way to do this is to select this line and just copy the code over and add it to the end of, or just replace this row with that one. One thing you'll need to change is the row number here, or the ID for the row, as well as the ID for the text view, so that they're not the same as the one you copied. Huh. What did I do wrong here? Oh. Why is this not showing up as a thing? Okay, you know what? I'm going to delete this row. Oh, don't tell me Eclipse is bugging on me again. Okay, yeah, it was Eclipse being buggy. I guess I was just loading this or something. Either way, it's up and running now. So we just copied this line down here. And now we can focus on doing the tax, which is a very simple part. It's just a text view and another text view, essentially. So let's do that. Or sorry, a text view and an edit text. So medium text, put it in. Oh, we're out of rows again, sorry. Let's add some more rows. Okay, so medium text, put it here. Let's change it to, say, tax. And let's change the layout gravity to right center vertical again. Looking good. Let's go to text fields and add a number decimal edit text here. And we will have to give this one an ID, so let's give it tax dollar. And let's give the hold on, I think I forgot to do something. So let's go and make this have a default text of $0, and the user can change that. And let's make sure that it's select all on focus attribute is true. And that's something that we forgot to do up here, so let's fix that. We basically want all the edit text to have select all on focus, because that just makes the life of the user easier. What else do we need? We need to set the gravity, so let's do that. Layout gravity we can set to center, and then the the actual gravity we can set to also center. Let's set the mode to center so that it is centered inside of the view and the view itself is centered inside of this column. I think that's all we need for this section. We're almost done, honestly. One thing that we're going to change is this. And I don't think it's in the properties window, at least I don't see it. So let's go into XML. So for the tax dollar edit text, add the following: Android : next focus down tools at ID/amount 1 of 1, and Android next focus right equals at, oh, what's going on with my keyboard? Oh, I know what it is. I think I turned on Chinese by accident. Alright, so set to the same thing. At ID/amount 1 of 1. Alright, let's go over what this means. Oh, what's up? Error in XML file. Oh, interesting. Alright, anyway. So, with most Android devices, you're either going to have a directional pad or a next button. So when a user is editing, say, this text right here, they have the option of hitting right or down, or the next button, and by default, Android is going to pick where that goes. So if this is the last edit text, if this is the last edit text, it'll jump all the way back to customer here. And since we already established that the user of our app probably isn't too concerned about what the name of the customer is, let's force Android to make the next edit text after this one. We could jump all the way to amount 1 of 1 up here, because they're more interested in editing numbers than names for this app. I thought I already set this to 0, but I guess not. Or maybe I changed it by accident, but let's set this to that. Okay, that's it for tax. And yeah, I definitely did. I don't know where 0 went. But okay, let's move on to the next section. Do we have time? Not really. Let's add a line and then end this. Same deal. Go ahead and copy this row that represents the line and add it to the end of your table. Change the IDs so that they don't conflict with any other IDs. So this will have to be 8. This can be 5. And again, I'm pretty sure my Eclipse is having a lot of trouble being run with my Cam Studio, which is why it's lagging, so it doesn't update automatically. But yeah, I'm going to compile this video and hopefully Eclipse will stop acting up by then. So see you in the next video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next installment of our Android calculator app tutorial. And in the last video, I made a mistake. I gave the ID text view 5 to this text view, but that's already taken. So if we change it to something that doesn't conflict, it should give us the line we're looking for. Okay, it did not give me the line I was looking for. Oh, Eclipse, you're great, but you're not. Why are you always so buggy when I'm making YouTube videos? I see absolutely nothing wrong with the code, so I'm gonna restart Eclipse again. So yeah, let's look at our plan and think about what we're gonna code while we wait for Eclipse. We have the grand total, and then we have the bill splitter, and then we're pretty much done. So, not much left to go in terms of the user interface, and then we can move on to the real code with Java. And I know this seems like a lot of work for a simple chip calculator, but After some practice, this all seems sage, and you'll be able to do what we have been doing in these past few videos in literally 10 minutes. No problem. Okay, so I restarted Eclipse and the line is there. So I find that if you're having problems with Eclipse, restarting it often fixes everything. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go and grab a large text and put it onto, oh shoot, we're out of rows again. Let's add some more rows. Right click, add row. Large text, put it here. Okay, this large text can say grand total. And the gravity can be centered, whatever. Hold on, we don't need to actually change that. Let's make it right center vertical. Is that what I did in the tutorial? Let me make sure. Yep. Layout gravity, right center vertical. Okay, just making sure. And then let's make another one, another large text. Basically the same deal. Put it here. Oh, this time we'll actually have to give it an ID since we're probably going to need to use it in our Java code. Let's call it text grand G total. And the default text can be $0. So you can see how it might be easier to have a string variable instead of typing 0 every time. I don't really know why I don't do it. I'm just lazy, I guess. And stubborn. Let's make it center. And let's make the other gravity also center. Okay, that's all we need for the grand total part. Let's go ahead and add 2 lines after this because I don't know, it'll look nicer than just having 1 line since the grand total. So right click the row with the line, and I'm going to try to do it this way instead of the other way I've been doing it. Click copy, right click main table, click paste. Okay, great, it looks like this works somewhat better. And then drag these down to the bottom of your table. Okay, let's edit them slightly. I don't like the names that they were given automatically, so let's change that. Table row 10, table row 11, and what text view are we on? Text view 8, text view 9. Okay, let's change it so that they're closer together. Let's make the top one have a 1 dp bottom margin, and the bottom one have a 1 dp top margin. And in doing so, the lines will be much closer together and look a bit more professional. Or financial. Okay, next, the bill splitter. Let's do it. We could use another row. Add a medium-sized text here. Let's give it a layout gravity of right center vertical, our favorite. Let's give it a text of split bill. Let's give it a, I think that's it actually. Let's make another row. Add row. See, I'm sure you're starting to get the hang of this by this point. You're going to be able to completely cruise through app UI creation after this tutorial. Okay, let's create some regular text views, not medium or large. Let's call this one, oops. I can't remember what I called this one. Let me check. Oh. Did I not give it a name? Because I need to give it a name. Oh no, I didn't give it a name. Text split 1. Oh my god, it's getting late and I'm tired. Let's give it an ID of text split 1. Because again, they're going to need more if they add more customers, so it's the first of potentially many. Not 11-1. And let's give it a text of customer, because why not? And let's give it a gravity of, I'm going to cheat and just look right here because I'm getting lazy. And we're almost done. Gravity, layout gravity right. Wait, just right, not right center vertical? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, what the heck? Should be right center vertical. I'm gonna have to fix that for my website. Okay, anyway, then we make another one. Again, just a regular text view. We'll give it an ID of Hello and welcome back to the Android Diff Calculator tutorial. Sorry the last video ended so abruptly. Somebody came into my room and I had to go deal with something. But we're back, and in the interim I realized that this does not actually have to be a right center vertical, it can just be right. So for the last few text views, we can just make it right. And the reason is because the only reason we made these other ones center was because these buttons that they were sharing a row with were large enough to make the size of the row bigger than the text itself. But with this, since there are no buttons, it's just text, there's no point making it center because the size or the height of the row is the same height as the text view itself, so the alignment does absolutely nothing. Okay, so what are we doing? Text view, let's make this and let's just cheat and look at the website. Layout gravity center, sure, why not? That should look good. Text, $000. Anything else? No, we're done here. Great. So that's the split bill portion of our. Right, why do I have a warning here? Duplicate ID, my bad. This needs a... Darn it. Did I not set the... Oh, okay, I did one of those things. I set the ID for the row instead of the... I need to stop doing that. So change the row ID back to row 13 and give this thing an ID of text split 1. And then give this an ID of text split $1. Okay, so let's move on. I said in the beginning of this series that we wanted a utility button here that's just resets all the fields of our app for the convenience of our user. So let's add another row and let's put a button in it. So far all we've used are image buttons. So this is the first time we're making an actual word button. So drag it here. Let's make some stuff. Set the ID to reset button, or whatever you want to set it to, really. Set the... Let's change it so that it spans across 3 columns. Android layout underscore span equals 3. All very normal stuff that you know how to do now. Let's change the text to not button, but reset. And let's give it some... Okay, here's a quiz question for you. If we wanted the button to be smaller, so that it doesn't cover the whole row, would we change the padding or the margin? So think about that. Are you done? Okay, good. I can't remember the answer because I get confused with padding and margin all the time, so I'm going to go cheat and look at the website. And it is margin. So, for those of you who guessed margin, congratulations. You guys understand margins and padding better than I do. Which is not saying much, so don't be too happy. Alright, let's find the margin. Left and right, let's both give it 50 dB. And let's change the size of the text as well. Let's give it, I think I give it 24 dB. Let me check. Yeah, 24 SB. What's going on with that? It's a typo. Gotta fix that. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna fix it right now, because if I don't, I'm gonna forget. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, back to this ad. We're done with the button, right? Yeah, we're done. Okay. One more thing that we're gonna add. One more feature. Like I said, we wanted to make our app somewhat unique for a tip calculator anyway. So let's add another row. And we're gonna add the fortune cookie feature. So let's add a text view. Oops. Oh, darn it. Okay, we'll put it there. And this will be the text view that holds the fortune. And I'm going to cheat again. Okay, let's call it fortune text box. What else did we do? Fortune text box. Layout gravity is center. Gravity is center. Okay. Man, my mouth is getting really dry. We want it to be longer, so let's give it a span of 2. So far, so good. And let's change the text. Great. So when the app launches, we'll have our code randomly generate a fortune and replace the text there. And we'll also have a button, so let's grab a button. And we will give it an ID of, I'm guessing I use fortune button, but I'm not sure. Yes, fortune button, how creative of me. And then the user can click this button as well if he wants to, and then that'll refresh that fortune and generate a new one. I'm pretty sure that we are done, which is amazing. Let's see, this looks very much like this, which suggests that we are done. Okay, what I have here is the full XML code that you can copy. And then if you want, you can replace all of your code with it. Although if you've been following, our code should be the same, more or less. And then you'll notice that actually the HTML or the one on my website does not have any indents because it's really hard to indent in HTML. Or it's because I'm bad at HTML. Either way, the easy way to fix this is to either hit Control-Shift-F or go to, let me check it out. Okay, go to Source. Format, shortcut Control-Shift-F, and if you look on the right, it is all formatted for you very nicely so that you can copy and paste my code and then have Eclipse formatted, no problem. Looks just about the same as before because we had the same code. And then one thing that you can do is go to Window, Preferences, Java, Code Styler Formatter. And Eclipse has a bunch of built-in auto formatters. You can create new ones, you can edit the ones that they have, and here you can change the rules for what the auto formatting does. I don't really bother because the default formatter does pretty much what I would expect it to do. Okay, before we end this part of the tutorial, let's go ahead and run it. Do we have time to run it? Yeah, we have time to run it. Let's go and run it. Here's a big test for my computer, whether or not it can run Eclipse, the Android virtual device, and Cam Studio all at the same time. And I'm going to go ahead and close Paint. And is there anything else I can close? Windows Explorer. Okay. So what we're doing now is, we have this preview here. We want to make sure that it looks normal inside of an actual Android device. So we're going to load up the AVD, and we're going to take a look. So far, I think it's shaping up to be a decently looking app, and I hope you agree. Oh geez, my voice is so dead right now. I can't believe I just spent the last 3 hours making YouTube videos. I hope you guys appreciate this, although I do enjoy it too. Yeah, this might take a bit to load. Oh, and then after this I have to spend another few hours editing everything and then uploading. This is going to take forever. I'm not going to get an early night's sleep, that's for sure. And it's a Sunday too. How terrible. How terrible. Oh wow. As long as I get to pass off this knowledge that I learned, however bad a teacher I am, as long as I get to help some people out there learn Android, it's all worth it. Okay, let's unlock this AVD and see what we have here. No, your YouTube did not freeze. My computer is still chugging along. Come on. Come on. Oh man. Yeah, usually when I'm developing for real and not doing tutorials, I actually use my own Galaxy S3 to test my apps, because the AVD in Android is just ridiculously slow. But whatever, great. Okay, the app launched. The focus is set on the $sign here, which is great. We can put numbers here even though they don't do anything yet. We have the buttons here where we want them to be. We have a rounding button. We have a neat slider that goes to 50. We can edit all this stuff. If we go down to tax here, and then we hit next, it should go up all the way back up here where we want it to go instead of here. Reset button here doesn't do anything. This button doesn't do anything, but it all looks nice. This is the user interface, and it is effectively done. Now we just have to code the interaction of the UI, what all these buttons do, what these edit texts do, and when these numbers change, when you want them to calculate, that sort of stuff. And the fortunes, the reset button, everything. So that's what we're going to do next, the coding of the Java. For the app, for the calculator. Okay, first I'm going to take a break and... well, first I actually have to finish the written version of the tutorial, because actually, as of right now, January 20th, the tutorial only goes up till the end of where we ended here today. So this whole tutorial series probably isn't going to be done till mid-February, like I said. So yeah, I will see you guys later, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial series so far. If you have any suggestions, if you have a problem with maybe how fast or slow I'm going, let me know. I know the voice quality is not that great. Nothing I can really do about that for now. I'm hoping to get a mic soon. A new one. Okay. Have a good night, and I'll see you later. Hey guys. One thing I forgot to say yesterday, and I'm probably just going to tack this onto yesterday's video, but if you feel like you haven't had enough practice yet with XML and the user interface design with Android, one thing you can do is delete, and I don't have Eclipse in front of me, but delete all your XML code, and then just rebuild the user interface that we built over these tutorials from scratch. And you can practice using the graphical layout tab, or you can code straight XML and try to create what we just made. And I think that's a great way to practice if you're new to this. So, and then if you get stuck, you can always refer back to the code that's right here. So yeah, that's one thing you could try. That's all I wanted to say. So I guess I'll see you guys.